NightCap recap. What up, players?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the NightCap recap. Jim Biringer here. Teddy Repantis. Both now back in New Jersey. Unfortunately, it's cold here, but it's all right. It's starting to warm up a little bit. We got a Super Bowl recap for you. Seattle Seahawks are the Super Bowl champs. Teddy, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Jimmy? Super Bowl Sunday is in the rearview mirror. It's always a quick ride when the NFL season is here. Just feels like it was yesterday we were doing our bowl predictions, and now it's over. But it's great to be alive on a Tuesday night recording the NightCap recap with you. I'm excited to talk Super Bowl, man.
Dude, definitely. And like I said off the top, Seattle Seahawks winning now their second Super Bowl, defeating New England Patriots, 11 years in the making. They get it. But it's a dominant performance by the Seahawks start to finish on defense. And if you guys weren't listening, if you guys were not listening to our preview show, we did say New England's defense was going to keep this a game until they didn't. They just took too many body blows early on. They just couldn't keep – the offense for New England just didn't do enough, and we'll get to that in a minute. But hats off to the game plan. We all talk about this league. It seems like every year we always talk about the offenses, the rules favor the offenses. But come playoff time, Lefty, it's all about defense, and a Seattle Seahawks defense, the dark side they're calling it now, just complete domination.
Yeah, you must love that as a new nickname for a defense, the dark side. We're talking Star Wars right here, right?
Love it. But, don't like it's the Seahawks. But,
right, yeah.
But I like the nickname.
Jimmy, you said defense, right? I mean, I think what the last 2 years have shown with the Eagles' domination of the Chiefs last year, and now this domination by the Seattle Seahawks of the Patriots, defense can still win championships. In a league where offensive output is celebrated, they're changing the rules, pass interference, roughing the passers are called so freely to give offenses the edge. It's good to see that defense can still rule the day if you have the perfect game plan and the playmakers to make it happen. And that's what this game was. It might not have been the most for casual fans that tune in once a year. This was not the most exciting game to watch. And this is not indicative of what this NFL season actually was. Yes, the game was anticlimactic if you're a casual and based off the other games we saw this year. But if you are a student of the game, love to watch defensive football, this was in a microcosm what Seattle's been doing all year long. I mean, just look at we said the stats last week. They've had a double-digit lead in 11 of their last 14 games. They've led the league in scoring defense and turnovers. So we knew coming into this, the playmakers, Mike McDonald, the game plan, they played it off to a T because Drake May in this one, to me, classic case of a young quarterback, the bright lights being too big for him. Right, Jimmy?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Before we get to Drake May, I want to shout out a couple guys on the Seahawks. First off, Sam Darnold, Super Bowl champion, 5th team. Shut up all his haters now. He's Super Bowl champion. Now, there will be some people that put him in the Trent Dilfer category, which is it's probably fair because, Trent Dilfer, he's a good quarterback, but, we all know the Ravens' historic defense carried them to the Super Bowl. And if you talk to Ray Lewis, the Giants didn't score a touchdown. Offensive touchdown, they had 0 points. Zero. Right. They had zero offensive points. Look, Sam Darnold it wasn't a perfect game from Sam Darnold either, because I thought at the beginning he was getting rattled by New England's defense that put pressure on him. But he just made enough plays. The mistakes that we're normally seeing from Sam Darnold, the composure, it was there just enough to get the sticks and just enough to get them in the field goal range. So, again, we've talked about it. How many times? Take the points. Mike McDonald realized it, heard what guys were talking about. Kick field goals, going to win the game. And, that's what they did. I mean, it was 12-0. It was just kicking field goals.
Yeah.
And that was a smart play. But also giving the ball to Kenneth Walker III. First off, I put a tweet out that night because I was hearing Tirico and Collinsworth talk about, they're like, oh, we went to practice. We didn't know this kid had this much speed. I'm like, bro, then you guys aren't doing your homework, man. I was watching this kid tear it up at Michigan State in his college days. He was a baller during college. I knew this downhill speed was there. It's unfortunate. I'm glad he won Super Bowl MVP because he dominated on the ground, 135 yards. I think it would have definitely been a lock if he got the touchdown that didn't come back. Like it'd been 170 yards, a touchdown, right? But I think the offensive line held up. They ran the ball. And Seattle was able to do some things, create some turnovers because, like you said, man, Drake May did not have a great game, whether it was the shoulder. Will Campbell couldn't block. The schemes that they decided to help with the double teams just couldn't get – I mean, you can't have your best wide receiver at pass catcher blocking in Hunter Henry. You got to bring in a 6th offensive lineman there, bring in a blocking tight end. When they did it, they had some success, but they didn't stick to it. They couldn't run the ball, though. At times when they did with Stevenson and Travion Henderson, they got yardage. They got good first down yardage, but they just never stuck with the plan. And I don't think Drake May's shoulder was 100%. That's not an excuse because he's played poorly all playoffs. He really has. Like, this defense, to me, is a classic case of what we saw with Houston. Houston's D kept them in the game until they couldn't, and they were waiting for the offense to make a play. New England's defense carried them to this point. If Drake May and New England's offense could have made a play or two, maybe we're talking a different story here.
Yeah, and Jimmy, I'm going to hop around too, man. There's a lot to get into. We could dive into here. On the defensive side of the ball for Seattle, look at their last 7 games. Outside of the Rams, the Rams really seem like the only team that could put up points.
Yeah, real quick on the Rams. Does this say that the Rams are the second best team in the National Football League?
I mean, look, we agreed that the NFC West, those were the top 3 teams in football this year, I think.
Right.
And look, the Niners were an injured team that got to 12 wins. They weren't even supposed to be there. The Rams and the Seahawks were the 2 best teams all year. And on the AFC side of things, did we ever truly believe in Denver and New England? Although they had these double-digit wins and we kept trying to, pump them up. But did you ever feel like they were ever better than the Rams and Seattle at any point during the year?
No.
So it does say a lot. We got to tip our cap to that whole division of 12-win teams, one of the best divisions in the history of the NFL this season alone. And the Seahawks defensively, look at these points allowed. 13 to the Patriots in the Super Bowl, 6 points to the Niners, 3 points to the Niners, 10 points to Carolina, 9 points to Atlanta, 0 points to Minnesota, 16 to the Colts. Phil Rivers was able to take this team to the brink somehow. Look at that, though. They haven't allowed over 16 points in the last 8 weeks outside of the Rams. So coming into this game, we just knew that Leonard Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence, we made a big deal about those guys last week. We said that the left side of the Pats O-line with Campbell is very weak. He's been letting up a lot of QB pressures and sacks, and that's what happened in this game. Again, unfortunately for him, he took a lot of flack, came out, and, he says he expects a lot more out of himself. But because that...
He's not a left tackle.
Right, because of his poor play, Seattle was able to ratchet up the pressure. They had a tell on Drake May. I saw an NFL Films clip. Julian Love on the sideline said, hey, he's dropping back when he sets his foot. There's a little hitch. He has guys open, and the film shows that Drake May had players open. He just was not getting the ball to them in time. I think he was overwhelmed with the pass rush. He was not able to get the ball out quickly, and that's a problem. Sam Darnold's experience pretty much won the day here. He didn't have to do a lot, like you said, but he made the big touchdown pass when it was needed that broke the game open after it was 12-0. The better QB won the game here, and it was because of Seattle's masterclass with 6 sacks, tied for the second most in Super Bowl history. Obviously, the pick 6, the 2 turnovers. You have to credit Mike McDonald for the game plan they put together to stop the Patriots. And it seemed like on the New England side, I didn't understand. I was saying it. I'm like, look, where are the design QB run plays? Drake May was known for his legs this season. Let's get back to what Drake May was doing in the regular season that made him so successful. Outside runs, get him outside the pocket, and hitting guys on the run. And then if the play breaks down, he could just take off, right? I mean, we didn't see any of that. And I don't know if it was because Seattle stifled it, or Drake May just seemed too nervous and couldn't make the big plays when it was needed. It was a combination of both, I felt like. No adjustments, though, from New England is what it seemed like.
No, it was just like a basic game plan that got him through the playoffs. But when Drake May was able to use his legs, he picked up significant yardage.
Right.
Like, he was picking up 15, 20 yards at a clip. And that one play before he threw the interception, he picked up a 20 yards on the ground just using his legs. So I agree with you. I don't understand New England's game plan coming into this thing, especially Josh McDaniels, who we know is, very creative offensively, what he can do, especially all season. I'm surprised there were no adjustments. I mean, especially on the offensive line, because Seattle's the schemes they were coming with on the left side. Then they were coming on the right side. They would fake the blitz on the left side. They come on the right side. And there was just the all pressure in New England all day long. I mean, Seattle's defense was ridiculous. Again, like you said, the pick six, the 2 turnovers, just not protecting the football, and they just couldn't establish a run.
14 QB pressures allowed to Will Campbell in this game, the most allowed in any game this season, including the playoffs. So
that's not good.
They knew that he was the weak link in this offense, and they keyed in on it, and this is where they won the game. I mean, but look, check this out, Jimmy. We both said what we said pretty much happened here. I said it's one of two things. It's going to be a Seattle blowout, or it's going to be a defensive game tight until the very end. And for all intents, I mean, 12-0 was a 4-field goal game. I mean, it's a double-digit lead, but are we calling that?
No, it wasn't
at that point.
It wasn't a blowout because New England's defense answered every.
They were doing their part.
They were doing their part against Seattle's defense
until you can't hold up anymore.
Right,
Eventually
because how many body blows can you take and your offense not making a play? Like
exactly.
It was 9-0 at half. I think it was like
and the starting position. Let me talk about the special teams. Michael Dixon, the punter. What a game! I mean, we said special teams might play a part. I said they had the 4th ranked special teams unit this year. This dude had one of the best games ever for a punter in a Super Bowl. 7 punts, 47.9 average yardage, 3 down inside the 6-yard line. Only 2 of them were returned for 4 total yards, and a couple of them were bad snaps, and he was able to get the kickoff. You got to give credit. Listen, we don't talk. The punting game is not all flashy. Nobody wants to talk about the punting game.
Shout out Pat McAfee, man. No,
Pat McAfee. Yeah, I'm sure he talked about it too. But when your opponent is starting inside their 10-yard line multiple times in a game, it's such an advantage to your defense. They can pin their ears back and just run freely at the quarterback, and that's what was happening. The Pats didn't get past midfield until like late in the 3rd quarter when they got their first touchdown. So how are you supposed to, and again,
that was set up by a defensive penalty.
Set up by a defensive penalty as well. Exactly. So New England had, by the way, that was their first down. It was set up by a defensive penalty. You're right. I'm like, wow, it's about time they actually got a first down, and it happened because of a defensive. It was an encroachment or holding. It was defensive holding, right?
Yeah, defensive holding, something like that. Yeah,
something like that. So, I mean, that sparked them to get that touchdown.
And let me go back to the first quarter real quick. New England's D, yes, Seattle's moving the ball down the field, but New England's D holds them to a field goal. And I'm like, okay, no touchdown to start the game. And I'm like, okay, let's see what the Pats can. If the Pats answer with 3, that's good. You're keeping it close. 3 and out. I'm like,
3 and out.
I'm like, this is not going to be a. But you give credit to New England's defense because they forced Seattle to some 3 and outs.
They did.
They would like but let's talk about this for a minute on New England's side. Christian Gonzalez, how many interceptions to this guy? At least two.
At least two. That could have changed the complexion of the game.
At least 2, because he gave Seattle some extra downs that they shouldn't have had. Don't get me wrong. He made some great plays too to make sure guys didn't get touchdowns.
Yeah,
but he had 2 picks that he should have caught.
He played like the best defensive player like he has all year for New England. A big reason why they were a great defense. You're right. Two picks that he probably thinks about he could have had. And I was saying it out loud. I'm like, all New England needs here, I know they're 3 and out. Get a defensive turnover. Get the ball into the other side of the field. Get a pick. Make it change the momentum, and it just never happened. It seemed like New England had some momentum, and then Darnold throws the interception, like right in the middle of the field to a wide open safety that was there. It was unbelievable.
I mean, and he underthrew his receiver, and Drake May just didn't have a good game. And look, like you said,
it's unfortunate that we're going to remember now. It's unfortunate you get to the big game. Everyone's going to remember you for your performance here.
But
no one's going to remember what he did in the regular season, but that's on him. He's a young quarterback. A lot of guys don't make it back to this point. You got to shake that off now and be like, hey, my performance is not indicative of that. We're going to find out real quick next year. What's he made of?
Because New England's schedule got a lot harder.
Yeah, it got a lot harder. And is this something that could derail his career? Because we've seen it before. Or is he going to be able to bounce back? You know,
well, let's break this down, because in the previous episodes, how many times did we talk about his playoff performance was not that good?
It hasn't been this entire playoffs.
It has not been good. Like,
yeah.
The only reason New England beat, I believe, Houston is because of 5 turnovers. So I mean, like,
yes.
New England's defense.
Because CJ Stroud played very poorly. That's
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and they played Jarrett Stidham in a conference championship game. And if it wasn't for like egotism, and egotism, like they're not getting past Denver. So because Drake May didn't have a great conference championship game either.
No, he
didn't. And it was a big stop by New England's defense on 4th down to change the momentum of that game. If they get one pick, get something that changes the momentum, because even at 12-0, you get an interception or something and you score off of that. It's a 1-possession game. It's a touchdown game. Like, it was still within reach, even though they were down 12-0, 15-0. It was still within reach.
It was within reach almost the entirety of the game. It was right there for them. They just didn't have the good starting field position, and they couldn't get any momentum going on the ground or in the air with first downs. They just couldn't do it. And Drake May now joins that list that I told you last week that he didn't want to be on. He had the worst playoff 3-game stretch since the year 2000. He is now worse than Rex Grossman. And then Peyton Manning had a really bad 3 games for Denver. That final year, he got carried to a title.
Yeah, that Denver defense carried.
So he joins the likes of Rex Grossman, Trent Dilfer, Kerry Collins, Rich Gannon, Jimmy Garoppolo as some of the worst 3-game stretches in the playoffs. You're not gonna win a ring unless your defense somehow, is otherworldly, like the 2000 Ravens did it. Some defenses did it for their quarterback. The Pats couldn't do it because Seattle was just a better defense on the other side.
Right.
It's unfortunate, but how about Ken Walker? I know he didn't break the touchdown, but most rushing yards in the Super Bowl since Terrell Davis, got the MVP.
They deserve the MVP.
We could have said, look, at that point, you could have said Jason Myers, the kicker.
Yeah, but he have 20. How many points do you have? 20?
Yeah, and he quietly also scored over 200 points on the season, past LaDainian Tomlinson's amazing MVP year. So that just tells you how important a good kicker is and how much the Seattle was kicking field goals this year. Right?
But they were taking points when they were there.
They were taking the points, right? Maybe this changes. Stop going for on 4th down. Take your points, right?
Dude, basically, it was a 15-0 game. They kicked 5 field goals. And I'm like, all right, it's 15-0. And their defense is holding them. Okay. Like,
and passing wise, look, Seahawks didn't have to do much. Cooper Kupp was the leading rusher. JSN got hurt. He had a concussion. He was out the majority of the game. Didn't come back until like late in the 4th. He only had 4 catches for 27 yards, but Cooper Kupp, 6 for 61. He gets his 2nd Super Bowl championship.
That catch he had in the first quarter was unbelievable on the sideline.
Yes, and how about him now? The Rams, he could stick it to them and say, hey, you guys thought I was yesterday's news. I was washed up. I go to your division rival, and now I'm a Super Bowl champ again. How great is that for Cooper Kupp?
Good for Cooper Kupp. I like the redemption story there, basically shoving it to. And maybe the Seahawks get to do it in the Rams home building next year, because I don't see this Seahawks team going away.
Yeah, because they are their youth. A lot of these guys are 2nd and 3rd year drafted players. So you have to give credit also to the GM and ownership for amazing drafting the last couple of years and putting this team in a great position to pivot from a Super Bowl winner in Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom to Mike McDonald and another Super Bowl, signing Sam Darnold in a year where nobody wanted to sign Sam Darnold. They got him at a discount, $30 million a year, because Minnesota were dummies. So
check this out. So somebody's telling me this today. So California has some weird things.
The jock tax.
The jock tax. Somebody told me about this. So he made $178,000, I guess, in winnings.
Yeah.
$284,000 in jock tax.
It's unbelievable. It's a stupid rule.
It really is.
That's the dumbest thing.
But I'll tell you this. He don't care because it's chump change to him because he's a Super Bowl champion right now. Seattle pick up the tax for him.
They will. And here's another thing that we talked about last week, ball security. I said Sam Darnold has had no turnovers in these playoffs.
0.
Being the league leader in turnovers in the regular season. the entire team, not just Darnold, ball security, no turnovers. The Seahawks are the first Super Bowl champ to go their entire postseason without any turnovers. That's unheard of.
That's winning
This is
football.
this is one of the if you zoom out on this is like one of the best seasons. We don't like to have hyperbole because there's so much history in the league, and we know who like the best are. But like if you look at it numbers wise, defensively, a playoff run, this is one of the best years an NFL team has ever had. 14 wins, dominating teams by double-digit victories, going through the playoffs without any turnovers. Your defense causing all those turnovers. I mean, it's phenomenal what kind of year this team had. It's a rare thing. So you got to tip your hat to these guys.
So is this I just got a question for you. Same GM that drafted all those guys for the first set of Super Bowls?
I believe, yeah. John Schneider has been the guy
Schneider,
there.
yeah. John Schneider. So he drafted a lot of guys. And let's give him credit for picking guys off from the Denver trade. For Russell Wilson, he got a couple of guys from Denver that he brought up to Seattle.
Not only did he draft the young guys that are doing great, they brought in the veterans that they needed. DeMarcus Lawrence, Leonard Williams. I mean, they brought the guys in that helped out. Cooper Kupp. I mean,
and Dexter Lawrence was a cast off in Dallas too.
Right. Seattle also dominated this entire season. 3 losses by a combined 9 points. 2 of them to teams that they beat in the playoffs, the Niners and the Rams. So think about that. Outside of their own division, they only lost 3 games by a combined 9 points. This is why it's insane. It's
an all-time season.
It's an all-time season.
If you really sit back and you divulge the numbers and you compare it to like all the other, like we talk about the Ravens defense, probably one of the most historic defenses out there, Legion of Boom. You could argue this Seattle team was probably more dominant than 2 Seattle teams that went to the Super Bowl.
I agree. And look, another one. First number 1 seed in the last 50 years to beat 3 12-win teams in the playoffs and route to the Super Bowl. And the Patriots were a 13, 14-win team. So just think about that.
It's historic. It's historic. I don't know if they – look, I've always said this when it comes to, like, college football, like, and I'm bringing that in there for a minute. Everybody looks at recency bias and is like, oh, the LSU team of 2019 is the best college football team ever. And then I start doing my research and I start thinking back to Miami 01. I'm like, and then I look back a little further and I'm like, yeah, Miami 01 going back to even into the old days. I'm like, their just team was so good. Like, I just hope we don't have recency bias and forget how dominant the Ravens 2000 defense was.
It was also a different NFL. You know what I mean? You got to look at how the game was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it killed everybody. Like, I mean, like it's across the middle. The way it killed guys going across the middle. But I'm saying, I think Seattle, what they've done, you could argue over the last 5 years, better than the Chiefs, better than the Eagles. Like what they've done defensively, but even offensively, you could argue they're better.
Right, and this is a stat Andy Mack probably knows and will laugh about. The Patriots had 53 drives in the playoffs. They averaged 1.13 points per drive. The 2017 Browns, who went 0-16, averaged 1.22 points per drive. That Browns team was better offensively than these Patriots in this playoff run. So that just tells you how bad New England was these playoffs, and it's unfortunate because it puts a little damper on what their regular season was like. And people are going to just turn to the schedule and say, hey, they were just a product of that. I thought they might be able to – Vrabel might be able to motivate these guys and change that. And look, again, we said it. The majority of the game, they were right there. They just had a 23-year-old quarterback. The lights got too big. He couldn't find open targets, and that's what happened.
He reverted back to his North Carolina days, he did. He did. He looked like he was playing in North Carolina again, where he just didn't make his reads and he didn't understand the game and all that stuff, which is unfortunate because he's a better player than that, and he's shown it.
Well, he'll have to show it this year now.
Oh, he's got it.
The jury's unfortunately in the NFL, not for long. The jury's going to be out year 3. They're gonna say this was a fluke run. Schedule's going to get harder. What can you do as a bounce back? Can you show me that you could be a good quarterback? This is where his legacy is going to get written. I know he's still very young, but again, we've seen this before with young quarterbacks. you might not get back to this game ever again. You know, like,
well, I mean, look,
so
the year Dan Marino went to his first Super Bowl with
right,
Miami.
24 years old, 23 years old, whatever he was.
Right, after the Dolphins, the perfect season and everything goes there, right? Everybody's like, oh, Marino's getting back, right?
Right.
They're getting back. Well, this was way down the road, but it was in the 80s. But my point is, they're like, oh, he's getting back. He's going to get back. He's going to get back. He never got back.
Yeah. He never got back.
He never got back.
Not to a couple championship games, but never got back.
No, well, he lost it. He ran into the Bills.
Right, exactly. That's what happened, right?
He ran into Jim Kelly and the Bills. Oh,
Jim
by the
Kelly
way,
and the Bills.
One of the best draft classes of all time. John Elway, Jim Kelly, and Dan Marino.
And if you're a Minnesota fan, you went 14-3 with Sam Darnold last year. I know he had the crap playoff game, but I saw the video today of the camaraderie in the locker room when they won the division, and well, no, they didn't win the division, but when they were having a great year, and I'm like, man, they let that go. It's unbelievable. They just let that walk out their door, and he wanted to stay there. They had something going right there, and now
we said it. We said it last year. We were saying it the whole year. We could check tape, go on Spotify, find it. It's there. We said the Minnesota Vikings needed to franchise tag him, match him, sign him, do whatever they had to do to keep Sam Darnold in the building because that's how well he played last year for the Vikings. But they decided to go in a different direction, and now the Vikings are going to be looking for a quarterback. And one team's loss is another team's gain, and Seattle put a great game plan together with Darnold as the quarterback. And look, there was a lot of doubters of him this year. Look, even in the Seahawk game and the Seahawk Ram game on that Thursday night, we're like, the Rams are up huge. We're like, oh, here's this typical Sam Darnold. This is where he folds. Like,
and that's where it turned right there.
And that's where it turned right there. Like, and did he have a great playoff run? No. But did he need to be super great? No, because the defense was dominant. So as long as he didn't turn the ball over, they were fine.
And this was the recipe that like the Niners had with Jimmy G those years. Jimmy G, just don't turn the ball over. Don't mess it up. The Niners defense will get you there. The playmakers will get you there. It's just Seattle was able to cap it off. And I'm gonna put on my bitter Niners fan hat right now. I just have to get it off my chest. It sucks to see in the last 5 years the Rams and the Seahawks both win a Super Bowl. While the Niners got to 2 and had to face Patrick Mahomes. I'm not making excuses. I'm not crying. I'm just saying it sucks to see your division rival on your home field win the Super Bowl against this really bad offensive team in the Patriots. It's just a cakewalk kind of for them, and they're not going anywhere. The Rams aren't going anywhere, and the Niners got to figure it out. I still believe that they'll get there somehow, but it sucks to think that we should have one at least. So all 3 teams in this division have shown how dominant they are. They're the class of the league, and it just sucks. That's all. I'll just say that.
I'll just say this. I think they should have had one of 2.
They should have had one.
They should have had one when they had the lead, the big lead.
I mean, they had a lead both times.
No, but when they had the double digit, the 2-score lead, when they didn't run the football.
Against the first one with Jimmy G in 2019.
The first one against the Chiefs. I was like, if there's one that they should have had, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. And the funny thing is, I think the 23 team was better, and they should have just won that one. But I'll be bitter there. But I'm also going to say with respect and tip the cap to the dominance of Seattle. And I love it because you know what? It makes the teams in the division battle tested to know that, hey, it's not going to be easy for us. We got to go through these teams to get to the next level. So they're not going anywhere. I know Shanahan and those guys are going to regroup, but Seattle, what a hell of a performance. And now we're also hearing rumors that the team's going to be for sale too, right? They talked about it before the Super Bowl. I mean, what better time to sell your team? We just won the Super Bowl. Let's add a couple billion onto that cost there for this team.
Right, exactly. Now we're going to go draft well and bring in more players.
The value just went up through the roof.
Absolutely. Like, I think about this real quick as I drop my phone in my notes. Look, I think you look at it and you say to yourself, yeah, they're going to sell the team $1 billion. You're going to have Super Bowl championships. Now you got 2 Super Bowls in that building. You just think about all the players that went through that team. And you say to yourself, I know we don't like to project, but who's stopping Seattle, Rams, 49ers next season? Like in the NFC right now, like I really don't see it. Like unless Philadelphia can figure it out and Green Bay can get it together and Minnesota decides to pick their quarterback. Can Chicago bounce back, have another good season? Where's Washington with all this stuff? Like the Giants.
Yeah.
Right now, to me, the three best teams still reside in the NFC West. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's going to be more of the same. It's going to be more of the same probably, unless, you get one of your dark horse teams coming out of nowhere. And look, the draft and free agency is going to play a part as well. So, but teams that are this good are gonna be there. And usually the team that loses is the one that has the hangover. So let's see what happens.
And doesn't come back. And doesn't go back.
Let's see what happens with New England.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens next season. Good kudos there. Super Bowl in the books. 124 million people watched the game on Sunday. So hey, down a little bit from the year before, but that's okay. Some Olympic coverage, other things, whatever. Real quick, Super Bowl halftime show. It's good. I mean, it was good.
I enjoyed it.
I mean, did I understand a word? No. Bad Bunny's Bad Bunny, man. I had to have some fun on Twitter, and I just have some fun with everybody. I was like, "Yo, where's the backlash pop?" He didn't get it. Sorry, guys. Where's the backlash? Where's the backlash? Where's the backlash pop?
Yeah, that's still by Bad Bunny Backlash Puerto Rico. Go look it up if you've never seen it. Greatest wrestling entrance of all time. One of the best. The beautiful thing about music is you don't need to understand what's being said to enjoy the music. I just don't get why people don't understand that, because I listen to Greek music. I listen to music from other countries. It's about a feeling and the emotions you get from it. It might not be your genre. It's not my genre either.
No, it's not my cup of tea. Like we were texting. Yeah. It's not my cup of tea.
But the performance aspect of it, and whatever the charisma was, that all plays a part in what's being put out there by the artist. So again, not my type of music. I've been the guy pounding the drum for, let me get some rock music once every couple of years. Let me get Metallica.
Where's the hometown guys there? Come on.
Metallica's not there. Green Day was great before the show. I love that. Yeah, they were awesome.
Awesome.
Makes me feel old that they're in their 50s now, Jimmy. Like those guys are in their 50s. He
doesn't look like he's in his 50s.
No, he doesn't, but it's insane to me. They were awesome. But Bad Bunny, great performance, great show. One of the most watched of all time. And this guy's ready to get back in the ring. We're going to see him at WrestleMania soon, so I'm excited.
Yo, Logan Paul giving them no love in the audience.
Yeah, so I think they're working something there. But hell of a listen. Anytime you could see some good-looking women dancing, I'm all for that, my man.
I still say, give me guys like Prince, U2, McCartney, Springsteen, Stones.
Yeah. They had a run of rock like that going for a while, and then they got away from it for all the pop, the popular artists.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, like that was.
That's one of the best too.
That was one of the best I've seen.
We need it. I said this. I'm like, us as millennials, I feel like they should cater to us as an audience. I know we're a little older. I know they're gearing to the young crowd, but give us 90s nostalgia rock and all the popular music of the 90s and 00s that we grew up with. Give me a medley of throw in some Jimmy Eat World. Give me some boy band stuff, whatever. Throw that in there. Give me Third Eye Blind. Give me all this music we grew up with. Mix that. Give us a melting of that. That would be a killer halftime show. But of course, we're not on the board that makes these decisions, Jimmy.
Well, we should get Creed there.
Creed is another band that should be there. Another one. What are you guys thinking? I mean, think back to that performance back 25 years ago.
What was that?
Come on now.
That was
Thanksgiving
2001.
Thanksgiving 01, I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, they rocked it, man. That was a great performance.
Yeah. So, but I'm okay with. I'm open-minded about who we got. I'll watch it. I'll always watch it. I'll be open-minded. I didn't like Kendrick Lamar last year. It was whatever. I thought this was better. But let's get a variety of genres. Can we change that, please? Can we get some more different types of music?
Yeah. I think it was all-star lineup from start to finish. So I mean, look, and then real quick, the Dunkin' commercial I thought was the best one that I saw.
Speaking of 90s nostalgia, it was a throwback to all the sitcoms. We had Friends. We had Urkel. Carlton was in there.
Cheers was 80s. Cheers was 80s.
Right. They gave us all the old sitcoms, 80s.
All the Boston guys, too. It was great.
I loved it. I feel like Ben Affleck never misses with these Dunkin' Donuts commercials ever.
Well, then when Jen's in there, it's great, too.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
I mean,
and we had the Jurassic Park commercial too. Was good.
That was good. I thought that was really good.
Jeff Goldblum.
there were a couple others that I saw that were pretty decent, but I mean, the Budweiser ones are always good.
The Clydesdales have been back now, and there's never been a Clydesdale commercial I didn't like. That's true Americana right there. I love the Clydesdales. That was great. I love that.
I mean, other than that, I just watched the game. I was hoping for a good game. I thought, I'll say this, I think Justin will agree with me on this. I thought the national championship was a better game.
Yeah, look, and I'll say this. I said it before. If you're tuning in once a year, this was not the game that you're like, oh, why are you guys making a big deal about the NFL? It's not indicative of what we saw this season. This was one of the most exciting seasons, and that's why I wish we had two teams in there that are a little more entertaining with their product on the field. But dominance rules the day, and that happens sometimes. It's not going to be a pretty high-scoring game every week. But agreed, yes, the national title game was better. It would have been cool if we got a game that was indicative of what we saw in the playoffs with the last-minute comebacks and all that. It just didn't happen. But this season, I would say, putting a bow on it, was actually a really nice season.
I thought it was a great season. I thought it was a great season game-wise. A lot of close games.
A lot of parity. A lot of parity.
And I think that's what showed. It's like, yeah, the best team won, but there was still a lot of parity in this league to tie it all together. So successful Super Bowl, successful NFL season here on the Nightcap Recap. Again, we're not done. Obviously, we'll
be right here.
It will be right here. Real quick before we transition to wrestling, Jim Sports no longer the defensive coordinator in Cleveland. Andy Mack talking about that. A real big reason is he was passed over. I've seen it in other sports teams too, where guys get passed over and they don't want to stay. And he has every right not to stay. And I think the locker room, I wouldn't be surprised if Myles Garrett trade request goes back into effect and some other guys. Jim Schwartz just put together two guys that won Defensive Player of the Year back to back. And you're gonna the locker room wanted that guy to be the head coach.
Made no sense.
That's Jim Haslam for you.
Made no sense. Agreed on that. Schwartz, wherever he ends up, going to be a big key piece for whatever staff he ends up with.
Yeah, huge. So Browns just doing Browns things, and that's why they'll always be on the hamster wheel of death. They're always on the hamster wheel of death, like the Jets, Star Jets. Detroit used to be on that hamster wheel of death, but they're kind of figuring things out. Titans are on there. Sorry, Kavak, but they are. And he would be the first one to admit it. So
he would.
But, he would.
The Raiders were, and they got Clint Kubiak now, the Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator.
5-year contract.
5-year contract. Another big one. Just signed. Got the press conference today. He's there. He's ready to get going.
Over under 2 years.
Jimmy's giving it 2 years. A lot of these 5-year deals don't work out, so we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. So NFL in the books for you guys now. As we make our way over, it's the road to WrestleMania, the Chamber, and everything else. And look, you got to talk about it. WrestleMania ticket sales in Las Vegas is not great. If you heard the program last year, we kind of bashed on it, saying I don't think Las Vegas and WrestleMania just go hand in hand. They don't go hand in hand. They've kind of had two flops. WrestleMania 9. Last year's, WrestleMania 41 wasn't really great. This year they're going back again to the well. Ticket prices are high now. Restaurants and hotels can't show WrestleMania in there because they want people to go to the venue. Why go to the venue when you can stream it, when you have it, can watch it from the comfort of your home? No, I don't think the card's going to be good. And I've said it again and again. Some years, 2 nights is fine. Other years, don't put everybody on the card. Yeah.
This feels like you could go with the one-nighter. It's right now going to be sold by CM Punk and Roman Reigns. It's a one-match kind of deal here. I hope that they work on getting a good card because it seems like we're going to get Becky and AJ Lee. That's going to be good. I don't know what they're thinking for the other side yet. We assume Cody and Drew Mac, maybe Jacob, but now LA Knight had this great promo on Monday night after the show went off the air.
Should have been on TV. Should have been on TV. Should have been on. That's a missed opportunity by WWE because those are the type of promos that get guys over on TV.
For sure, and I'm sure fans know they can find it online. He's in the chamber. Let's see what they do there. I mean, it would be cool if seems like we're just the Energizer Bunny here. We're repeating the same thing. But when are we going to pull the trigger on LA Knight? I don't know if or when. It sounded like he's cutting some kind of the way he said things. I don't know what the future holds. I never like when I hear guys say that because it seems like, a contract could be coming up there. They're thinking about their options. I'd love to see LA Knight. If it doesn't work out for him here, go to AEW, do your thing. It worked out for Ciampa, who shout out. We forgot to mention he won a TNT title last week. Good for him. I just want to see
him. He's killing it already. I mean, I know it's early. And look, a lot of guys come in there sometimes and kill it early.
And fade out. Yeah,
and then fade out. But this guy, I mean, we've known he could be a great singles guy ever
for 10 years now.
Like NXT, he was killing it. So
yeah. So LA Knight, while I think, cool if he goes there, I feel like this is the best stage for him. And he's got so much potential to be such a face of this company that I hope they see that. And I hope we get it at some point this year. If we don't get it now, I get that you got to go with the guys that sell the tickets. Roman, Punk, Cody. They move the tickets right now. Drew Mack getting what he was deserved a while back. So it's a waiting game. But sometimes you got to strike when the iron's hot. They did it with Jey Uso. I don't get why we can't do it with this guy. It doesn't make sense.
Who cares if he only has a 4-month title run? Again,
right.
Again, sounding like the Energizer Buddy. If you went to the Attitude Era, the championship belt changed hands how many times?
Every 3 months, it seemed like.
So, and The Rock and Mankind leading into WrestleMania 15, if I remember correctly, exchanged the title like 4 times.
Yeah, we're Rock, Foley, Rock, Foley, Rock, Foley.
Yeah. So, I mean, who cares what your plan is? You can call an audible and change the title. And
you write this stuff. You can make an audible anytime you want.
Like for me, we've said it how many times during Roman's 1,000 range days of champion, would have put it on LA Knight the first time there in Saudi, would have put it on Sammy at the Chamber. There were opportunities to change the title.
Yeah, you want to make things interesting and shake it up to Mania and make it unpredictable. Look, Finn Balor's getting a chance at Punk at the Chamber in Chicago. How about have Finn win it, shockingly, and then Punk can win it back the next night on Raw, just to shake it up. Give me something different. Be like, oh man, just to make it like, oh my God, the Punk and Roman match that is going to headline is off now. Like, oh my God.
What was it? 02 at No Way Out. Angle and Triple H had #1 contenders match going into WrestleMania 18.
Right. Angle was the #1 contender, right? And Trips took it from him, right?
No. Triple H had won the Rumble. They put that up. They put the spot up at No Way Out because Kurt felt like he was robbed. So Angle won because of, Stephanie and all that angle. But then Trips won it back and got in the match anyway. So
just to make it unpredictable.
Yeah.
Have Finn win the title, lose it the next night. Punk wins it back on with Roman. Have somebody else win a Chamber. Don't have Cody win it. Have LA Knight win it. Build something up with Drew Mac.
Me personally, this is how I would write the card. I think, and it'd be one night, and you could put it back at Allegiant Stadium, which I think it is there anyway.
Yeah.
One night only. Roman, Punk's your main event. Semi-main is Drew and LA Knight for the title.
Love it.
And you could have Jacob and Cody
in like a death match or something, right? Like a crazy no fight. DQ, whatever you want to call it.
Look, we've said it how many times on this program. We'll continue to say it. The years Brett didn't have the title, he worked his butt off in matches that he made other guys look great in.
And I feel like Cody's the type of guy that he'd be willing to make Jacob look like a superstar. I think he'd be okay with taking a backseat for this 1 year. He's had such a phenomenal run for 2 to 3 years now that I think he knows, hey, I'll be back here next year. It's no big deal. But because it seems like they are protecting, from what it seems like, they're protecting Punk versus Cody. They're saving that. That's going to happen at some point. And I think if this Saudi thing really, with Saudi Mania, if there's this Rock thing, they're saving Rock and Roman if that is to happen. So I think Cody would be okay knowing I'm going to take a step back. Let's make Jacob a star, and I'm going to get Punk next year. Let's let LA Knight get elevated here with Drew McIntyre. And then with the women's side, you give me Liv and Steph on the same card you're booking right now. Liv and Steph. Give me Becky and AJ Lee. That's definitely happening. Figure out what to do with Jade. Maybe like a 6 women's match with Jade Cargill.
Or give me
returning Bianca Belair coming for revenge.
Jade and Bianca.
Right. There you go. There's your 3 women's matches right there.
Right. Like that's that.
Intercontinental title. You have Dom Mysterio. Get him. Have him retire Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Give me Gunther and Brock Lesnar. In this one, Brock wins, and then Gunther gets the career at SummerSlam. You could do that. You could do Gunther Brock like in a trilogy if you want this year.
Right.
So we could build a good Mania card here, man. We could do it.
Throw the tag team titles in there as well.
Yeah, Usos in a 4-way tag, 4 corners tag match with somebody,
Yeah. Or I got one for you. In a 4 corners tag, both titles are on the line. First pin is our WWE Tag Team Champions. Second pin is for the world titles.
There we go. I mean, look at this. What are we doing here? We're booking the show for trips. Call us up, man. And then the U.S. title.
U.S. title.
Who's the U.S. champion now? I don't even remember.
Isn't Carmelo? Isn't Carmelo?
It's Carmelo. So yeah, give me Carmelo and Trick Williams.
No. Give me Carmelo, Javon Evans.
Boom. Interbrand matchup.
Interbrand matchup.
All right, then give me Trick versus Obafemi interbrand matchup too.
Let's do it. Well, we used to. I mean, look. Back in the day, you could look at like WrestleMania, 17, which is considered probably the best WrestleMania card of all time.
Still is.
Like, how many guys were
10 matches?
How many guys were left off that card?
A lot of guys.
A lot of guys were left off that card. And a lot of we had they didn't have the 2 brands at the time, but because everybody was on everybody's show, but the hardcore match with Kane and Big Show and Raven, that was really good. Triple H and Undertaker, that was a good one. That was the first Mania match ever. Actually, it was the first Mania match ever. But Jericho, I think it was Jericho Regal opened the show.
Well, there we go. So Jericho's a guy that could possibly show up, and then the Vision's kind of. We didn't mention Braun Breaker, unfortunate injury, hernia surgery, flipping a table. Now this guy that you were going to strap a rocket to gets his momentum cut short. He was going to have to wrestle Seth at Mania. Now they're going to have to pivot. We might get Seth and Austin Theory or give me Seth and Bronson Reed. I'll take that, I guess. It just sucks that this whole Vision storyline kind of has fallen apart now due to the injuries of both guys.
I think forget even putting Seth in there. I think Seth should face somebody else, to be honest.
A returning Chris Jericho?
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, so I mean Randy Orton, and we're leaving out Randy Orton, he's going to be in there
Seth?
somehow.
How about even if Jericho isn't returning, give me Seth and Randy, another interbrand match.
So there's a lot of ways you could go. It's just I feel bad for Braun Breaker having to deal with that now.
And we'll see if he's out 12 weeks.
Jimmy subscribes that this is a work, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I think he legitimately had hernia surgery, but I don't know I think they're.
If it's 12 weeks, you don't know if it's 12 weeks.
I don't know if it's 12 weeks because I looked up now very severe ones are 6 months.
Okay.
But the timeline of recovery is 8 to 12 weeks.
So that puts him right at Mania. So they're probably saying, hey, it could be 12 weeks to 6 months. We don't know yet. All right.
So, I mean, if he misses Mania, he misses Mania. But if he doesn't, Seth and Braun Breaker would be the storyline for me. And there's probably some other guys we're missing in there as well. But it's a one-night card for me. I'm looking forward to Finn and CM Punk at the Chamber.
Oh, me too, yeah.
I think that'll be a good match. I think there'll be some shenanigans with AJ Lee and Becky in that first match because this is only the first time that they're fighting. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be – the road to WrestleMania is on. Now that the Super Bowl is over, we're talking a lot of wrestling. I like what they're doing. I always quick shout out AW note. I like the fact that Andrade's getting this big push now.
Finally.
Right?
Yeah, he deserves it. I mean, how many times are going to wait for this guy?
Right. So, I mean, but he looks a lot better than he did the first time he was there.
He does. I agree with that. He's actually seems like he's motivated and dedicated to actually put in the work here.
Well, but he looks like the NXT Andrade that was killing it with Gargano and all those guys. He looks like that dude again.
That's the guy we need.
First of all, and real quick, real quick. I'm not trying to get political or anything here. But if Brock Lesnar can keep coming back, why can't we have the Velveteen Dream back?
Oh, good point. Yeah, good point.
I'm just throwing it out there.
We'll see what happens. I mean, look, I think Is he done with the wrestling business? I don't even know what's up with
I
him.
think he is, but I wish the Velveteen Dream was back.
Yeah, I mean, look, he had the world in his hands, and it just kind of blew up in his face.
Yeah, but he was such a great character, dude.
He was one of the best. Absolutely. Great in the ring, too.
By the way, and two of the best, we forgot to mention this off as we read because it's a kind of cross promotion. Forgot to mention the two best halftime performances of all time happened on Halftime Heat.
That's right. That's right. Rock versus Mankind, and then the Adam Cole, the Undisputed Era, right? And
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, Adam Cole against with Gargano and Ciampa taking on Velveteen Dream. Was it Ricochet was in that match?
Yeah, I think Ricochet was in the match too. Yeah.
And who was the third?
Yeah, who was the third man? I don't remember.
Was it Alex?
Oh, was it Roddy Strong? Could have been Roddy Strong.
No, I don't think Roddy Strong was in that match.
Okay. Yo, Kyle O'Reilly? It wasn't O'Reilly either?
No, who was the baby faces at the time?
Let's see, it wasn't Finn Balor, right? Cole was with Gargano and Ciampa. So DIY, no, the good guys wasn't Gargano on the good side?
No, it was Aleister Black. It was Aleister Black, Ricochet, and the Velveteen Dream against Adam Cole, Gargano, and Ciampa.
What a match that was, huh?
That was a sick match.
That was just look at the names you listed. That era of NXT, man, is untouchable right there.
Yeah, that was a great halftime.
Just think about it. You had all of Undisputed in that as well, like all the other characters that were involved in NXT at that time. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be crazy. But Super Bowl in the books, road to WrestleMania, NightCap recap, always here for you. It's Jim Biringer, Teddy Repantis. Guys, enjoy.
Peace.